Michelle and I, and Sammy and Ben are joining us today at Narcoossee. We're here at the lovely Grand Floridian, and nestled back here, the main building is right there. That's the main building, the Grand Floridian, and then nestled back here, right along the water, because this is technically a fireworks view restaurant, is Narcoossee'S, and we're really excited to head our way in. We've been brought to our table, and just look at the decor of this place. It's just fancy, fancy. That is impressive. And the really cool part, besides the fact that we're being visited by our great friends from Orlando, is that view. I told you, fireworks view restaurant. If you come here at the right time, you can catch fireworks. I chose the time I chose because I wanted to make sure we got a spot. But this is awesome. What do you think? Yeah, very cool. Narcoossee'S menu, for those of you who don't know, is actually a lot of seafood. And the best way to describe it is that there are things for everybody. You just have to kind of look and pay attention to the menu. And there's actually more options here for everybody who maybe people don't eat seafood than there are at some of the other restaurants, because this one's a little bit on the nicer side. And our friend Sammy has the allergy-friendly menu. If you notice, it tells you exactly what allergies you can eat, whatever's on there. So she has a shellfish allergy, and so she's avoiding anything that might have shellfish on it, but she can still have regular fish if she so wishes. But they also tell you what might have touched it, which is pretty good. One of the things I am very excited about, because signature restaurants, you can always count on them to have good tea. This is Brewed iced tea, of course, and I get the unsweetened, and I like it with lime. I know I'm weird, but I'm really excited that that's a Brewed iced tea. That is a mark of a restaurant that cares about its food. So our allergy friendly, and by the way, if you ever get something with an allergy, they will usually put these little sticks in it, and these little sticks either say allergy or they have some kind of marking on it that shows you that it's allergy friendly. And since we have a person with an allergy at the table, they make sure to watch that. But we got fresh sourdough bread with pink Himalayan sea salt. And Michelle is digging into hers, and I'm ready to go for mine. Our cocktails have arrived. I have ordered the Old Fashioned, which is Old Forester Kentucky Straight Bourbon, Courvoisier vs Cognac, in place of the Simple Serve, which I find fascinating, rosemary and aromatic bitters. Michelle ordered the White Sangria, and the White Sangria comes with a strawberry puree ice cube, which I think is rather fascinating. And my friend Sammy has ordered the spiced basil cocktail, which is chili oil, washed siete miesteros mezcal, and Grand Marnier liqueur, saffron basil tincture, and strawberry, agave, and lime. And it has a really fascinating salt rim. So all these look really good. This sourdough bread has a beautiful center and it has an excellent crumb. And the crust is super crunchy, and it's the best of both worlds in bread, in my opinion. And I love sourdough bread, too, so that's really good.
So I got the spiced basil cocktail. Almost forgot. What is that? The salty rim?
Salt rim.
So it's actually sugar and salt and then basil mixed in with that. The drink itself is very smoky, but looks like it would be sweet, but it's actually not. And with the sugar on the side, it balances out, and I quite like it. And I'm not a huge alcohol person, so it's a nice, different cocktail rather than just something super sugary.
All right, so I got the White Sangria here. It's a different twist on a traditional sangria, and I mentioned in our previous meal today that a lot of the Disney sangrias just come from a box, which is usually fine for me, but at Disney prices, I want something like more custom, more unique, and this is definitely it. It has both wine and Kettle One cucumber in it, so it's a little bit different from typical sangria, and I'm enjoying it.
For me, on my Old Fashioned, I have to say that the Courvoisier does add an interesting element to this drink. I would never have thought to make an Old Fashioned with Courvoisier in it. I'm going to have to try it now, because honestly, I don't think of Courvoisier as something that I enjoy drinking. I know a lot of people love it. I think they think it's great, but it's just interesting, and it mixes well with the rosemary. So there it goes. So my cocktail also good. So it sounds like everybody's happy with their cocktail. Like, we need to check in on Ben because he's got the real hard stuff though.
All right. So we've had Michelle, we've had Sammy, we've had Doug with all their drinks, but I think I'm on the harder stuff. I'm gonna top them all. Like straight 100% H2O.
So we have our dehydrated lobster roe at the bottom, our butterfish lobster, a vanilla foam, and then on top is a plankton trout.
Thank you very much. So Michelle picked up the local citrus and goat cheese salad, which is tiny lettuces, honey crunch pumpernickel granola, pickled onion, and bee pollen dressing, which I think is in the circle. And look at that presentation. That's incredible. That looks tasty as well. So she has that. I have my soup. We'll let you know what we think. Wow. Wow. That's probably some of the best lobster bisque I've ever had. I mean, the lobster flavoring was more present than you often get in lobster bisque. The vanilla cream that they told me to mix in to make sure it really did make an interesting change. At first, I thought I was tasting the sweet, and then I realized that, like, as it kind of mixed a little bit better, it really did add to just the creaminess of the soup. So Mike's recommendations on that soup is he's our server and he's amazing. And and I'm also going to point out that, as you can see, I didn't like that soup at all. Nope, lies. Michelle also hated her salad. No, I'm just kidding. Michelle, what do you think of the salad?
It was very good. The flavors just kind of went well together. The little croutons, or whatever they were like the highlight of the whole dish. Very good.
3 people at this table got the same thing. We do have the allergy friendly, and there's minor adjustments to the vegetables, but they got the milk brined pork chop, which is coconut sweet potato mash, jerked spiced asparagus, hibiscus flower glazed, Brazier peaches, and torn sorrel and basil. And I got the prime New York strip steak, which is potato mash, roasted rainbow vegetables, and demi-glaze. And I also added the enhancement of the charbroiled Gulf shrimp. This looks perfectly well cooked, and so do these. Wow. I did get myself another alcoholic beverage. I got myself the Three Daughters Beach Blonde Ale. I have already had a nice taste of it. It's light, refreshing, and it goes really well with my steak, which I'm currently demolishing. And if you look carefully, you can see how much Ben hated his pork chop.
Clearly, it was all terrible.
Yeah, I hated it. It was awful.
Terrible.
I like the carrots though, and the sweet potato mash. Carrots. Yeah, I like the carrots and the sweet potato mash because I guess the bisque that the sauce has shellfish in it, so they gave me purple and yellow roasted carrots and the sweet potato mash.
Yeah, the whole thing was really good. I had them sub out the asparagus for the rainbow veggies. Very tasty.
It's delicious, soft, tender. The sauce is beautiful as well, and the asparagus was it was really good, really good.
And that was awful. So that steak, perfectly cooked, buttery. Ben tried it and he agreed with me. There was nothing about that dish that was bad. The potatoes were perfectly seasoned, just the right amount of salt, garlic, and I had the rainbow vegetables that come with mine. And the char-grilled shrimp were also excellent. They did a really good job of seasoning those on the grill, and the char was just right. You had just that right amount of carbon flavor that you want in a good char. And it all paired really nicely with this Three Daughters Ale. It was a phenomenal dish. I mean, this restaurant is one of those places that I've always wanted to come, but always avoided because it has so much seafood on the menu, and Michelle is very much not a seafood eater. And I finally said, hey, look at the menu. If you can see something on there, I'd really like to check it out. And I'm so glad we did. I'm so glad Michelle took a chance on it. Nice to have Sammy and Ben with us. We're going to see, there's a dessert course possibly. I may be on the edge of being too full, but we'll see. We are celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary, so we are going to, I'm sure there might be something. But yeah, so far, just, yeah, phenomenal. That steak, seared just right, the right seasoning on the outside, the temperature was perfect on the inside, and it was like eating steak butter. Love it. And Narcoosee'S is kind and has given Michelle and I chocolate-covered apricots with a little white chocolate, happy anniversary, and champagne as a little celebration of our 20th wedding anniversary. So make sure you tell your server what you're celebrating. You never know what'll come your way. Just to show how much we love each other, we're going to each do this with our non-dominant hand. So here we go. Ready? And... aha! Got it. Our dessert has arrived, and our friends have ordered the hazelnut chocolate bar, which is a chocolate sponge cake with cassis and ganache, and it also has a nice little hazelnut spread there and little violet flowers. And ours is the famous almond-crusted cheesecake, which has Lambert cherry sauce and chantilly, and they presented it like Little Mermaid because they knew Michelle was coming. So that cheesecake, wow. That cheesecake was wow. The almond was a perfect accompaniment to the cheesecake, and the cherries, they used Luxardo cherries that they kind of turned into a compote and put around the outside, and mixed with the chantilly cream. Oh wow, that was so good. And I'm very full, but not rolling out of here full, because the portions are actually controlled a little bit better here than they are at some of the fancier restaurants. So Michelle, what did you think?
Food good.
Food good. All right. Yeah, see? That's how it works around here. Food good. Now, my friends had the hazelnut bar, so I'm going to see what they think of that.
We had the hazelnut chocolate bar, and it was oddly difficult to eat because the top part is frozen chocolate and hazelnut, so it's like a frozen bar. So you end up smushing it. So that would be the negative. And it didn't really taste a whole lot like hazelnut because of the raspberry puree on top. But it was quite delicious, and it wasn't too sweet. Right?
It was good, yeah.
And obviously Ben is very loquacious.
So the one thing I'm going to talk about here, because that I don't normally kind of talk about on this channel, is price. One of the things I want to warn you about is that this is a signature restaurant. You will pay signature prices. Michelle and I are treating ourselves because it's our 20th wedding anniversary trip, and so we decided to come here. But if price is an issue for you, this is not the restaurant for you. With our annual pass discount, I'll make sure to say that, our total bill was $210. So you just need to understand, you are paying for the quality of food here, but none of the food that we ate here was of anything less than the quality we would expect for the price we were paying for it. So we're going to settle the bill, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts, and then we're going to be on our way. But I will tell you, I am not displeased with this price right now. Okay, so we're outside here in Narcoosee'S. Ben's out here with me. And I just wanted to come outside because here's the only complaint that I have about that restaurant. As it started filling up, it became very noisy. Hard floors, high ceilings, just a lot of acoustics, and it just became very noisy. And that's the only complaint I have about that restaurant. Everything I had today was great. All of my friends and my wife all thought this was an excellent restaurant. And as I said, as I was talking about the bill, it was a good value for my money. Now, you just have to understand that you are going to pay extra for the location, but also remember that you can take your receipt and you can come back here and you can watch the fireworks from that balcony that was right outside that window. And you saw that view. That view was great. You got to see the Magic Kingdom out that window. We're technically told we had the best seat in the house, and it's probably because we got there first today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We 100% had that first. Yeah. And, so that was a great view. I was very glad to be a part of it. And, yeah, that restaurant was 100% worth our time. So, remember, if you ever eaten at Narcoosee'S, comment what you thought of it down below. If you haven't eaten at Narcoosee'S and you have questions, ask them too. Hit the thumbs up button. Just because it really does help the channel. And also, subscribe if you're new. I do a lot of reviews like this, especially about places that people may not be able to get to. So, That being said, we don't like to say goodbye because we're going to see you real soon. So we say, see you bye.